think one of the deepest forms of pain is the pain of abandoning yourself quietly, slowly, almost so slowly that you don't even notice it's happening, while staying deeply committed to everyone else, to their needs, their comfort, their expectations, their approval. Sit with that for a moment. Take a breath. Inhale and exhale. Because this week I want to talk about what it means to stop doing that. I've been thinking a lot about the Mel Robbins let them theory, and I think there's something incredibly powerful about it. Let them misunderstand you. Let them leave. Let them choose differently. Let them distance themselves. Let them think what they want. Because so much of our suffering comes from trying to control what was never ours to control. Other people's opinions, choices, behaviors. Let them. There is freedom in that. But lately, I've found myself thinking about something else. Something deeper. Something harder. Not let them. Let me. Pause here. Take a breath. Let me. Because if I'm honest, I think many of us have spent our lives disconnected from our own voice, cut off from our truth. Not because we want to be, because somewhere along the way we learned it wasn't safe. Maybe we were criticized, shamed, dismissed, punished for speaking up, made to feel selfish for having needs, difficult for having boundaries, too much for being honest. And slowly, almost invisibly, we learn to abandon ourselves, to bite our tongue, to smile when something hurt, to say, it's fine, when it wasn't. To swallow words so many times, they begin to harden inside the body, sitting in your throat, heavy in your chest, like stones you were never meant to carry. We learn to shapeshift in rooms that asked us to be smaller, to dim ourselves just enough to keep everyone else comfortable. I know this pattern well. And maybe you do too. How many times have you known something wasn't right and stayed anyway? In the relationship, in the friendship, the job, the room. How many times have you felt the truth rise inside of you only to push it back down? Because speaking it felt more terrifying than carrying it. How many times have you said yes when every part of your body was screaming no? Pause. Take another breath. Inhale. And exhale. Because this is what I'm realizing. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't letting them. Sometimes the hardest thing is letting yourself. Let me stop betraying myself. Let me stop waiting. Let me trust what I already know. Let me say the thing. Let me choose the thing. Let me walk away from what drains me. Let me disappoint people if it means being honest. Let me stop shrinking in rooms I've already outgrown. Let me choose peace over performance, truth over approval, self-trust over self-abandonment. Because too often we wait. We wait for people to leave. We wait for the job to become unbearable. We wait for the relationship to break. We wait for life to become so painful that change feels unavoidable. Only then do we move. Only then do we tell ourselves, I had no choice. But what if you do have a choice right now? What if instead of waiting for life to force your hand, you simply asked, is this for me? Is this aligned? Does this feel true? And if the answer is no, can you let yourself act on that? Because this is where courage lives. Not knowing everything will work out, not having guarantees, but entrusting yourself enough to move, to honor what you know, even when it's uncomfortable, when it disappoints others, even when it changes everything. Because choosing yourself will often feel terrifying, not because it's wrong, because it's unfamiliar. Because choosing yourself can feel like death, the death of the version of you who survived by staying small, by staying agreeable, by staying safe. And maybe that's what growth really is. Not becoming someone new, but grieving the version of you that learned self-abandonment was necessary for love. Take one final breath and ask yourself honestly, where am I waiting? Where am I hoping something outside of me will change so I don't have to make the hard decision? Where do I already know the truth? What words are sitting in my throat right now? And what would happen if I stopped waiting? What would happen if I said, let them, but also let me. Let me choose. Let me speak. Let me leave. Let me begin. Let me become. That is enough for now.